All right, thank you very much. Hello, everybody. It's your good friend Pozzible here, and I'm back in action with another look at another movie I finally got to watch. This is a movie that I've been wanting to see now for, I'd say about 22 years. And let me tell you something, it was not worth the wait. That's right, I am talking about RoboCop 3. He's back again. That machine from 1993. This movie came out originally in 1987 is when the first RoboCop happened. This is where you could tell they really lost steam. They really didn't know what they were doing anymore, and they were just putting anything together and just hoping it would make it stick. Now, to be fair, let's understand something about this movie. Let's go back to the mentality of 1993. First off, this is just RoboCop 3. This is not really RoboCop the trilogy. This is just a day in the life of RoboCop. They weren't going by the rules per se. So there's nothing really in this one movie that wasn't in the past two movies. It didn't reference the past at all, like you're supposed to. Those old-fashioned how to make a trilogy type of movies. RoboCop was never a trilogy. RoboCop was a just three standalone movies. I mean, literally, because he's a robot, and he's a cop. You could have watched one, two, or three in any order. You'd be fine. So, RoboCop 3 is just a basic film. Now, Peter Weller was not able to come back. He was too busy doing a different movie. Nancy Allen did come back. Nancy Allen, I hope that came out right. She did come back. She's still popping the gum as her character does. She only came back under the condition that her character die in this particular movie, so that she never had to be asked to come back again. Goes to show you the way this movie has been going. But back to what this movie is about. In RoboCop 3, meet the child here who probably is barely 10 years old, but she is a child hacker who can hack into Ed 209. She is that good and that smart. Remember, this was 1993, so there's only two kind of people that were really good with computers back then. Really, really little kids, like today, or just computer experts who grew up with computers the whole time. All I can say is that Ed 209 must have been really upset to see himself humiliated like that. But this was still early 90s. I know this came out in 93, but the movie itself was finished by 91. And they couldn't release it in time because Orion was going bankrupt at the time. So there was a delay. This was the sign of not a failing movie or a failing movie franchise. This is the sign of a failing studio. In this movie, the corporation is going bankrupt, and people are literally jumping to their deaths in this movie or shooting themselves. And when it comes to what was happening in real life with Orion and what was happening in this movie, is kind of a parallel there. I mean, the whole thing is that RoboCop is supposed to defend a neighborhood because if a corporation can knock down the buildings in time, then they could build and be fine. But in the meantime, the people who live there and RoboCop are standing in their way, so the loan would become due and the company would go bankrupt. Okay? So it's a company's last gasp. Sound familiar? It should. They shouldn't have called it whatever the Omnicorp. They should have just called it Orion because that's what was going on behind the scenes. At this point in the movie franchise, RoboCop 3's life force had been sucked out. The acting was bad, lazy. The action was horrible, slow. It was horribly placed, horribly written. And, it made me kind of sad because there were some really good moments. There were moments when you're like, oh, that's pretty cool, or wow, that was nice. But overall, it was a bomb of all bombs. And that's why it is a big-time pass. If you ever have a chance to see RoboCop 3, don't watch it. You might want to avoid this one and save yourself the 2 hours. All right, guys, that's it for me today. We'll see you at the theaters.